Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Caulfield Racecourse here on Saturday. It is October the 20th, 2018. Gonna look at the featured 8th race from Caulfield, but before I get onto that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world. Also, join me in a few weeks' time for my Melbourne Cup preview. Also, just around the corner also is the Cox Plate next week. I will have a preview for that, and also my Breeders' Cup preview video should be up very soon. So go check that out. But today's 8th race from Caulfield, the Caulfield Cup, is a great race, so we're going to look at that right now. Race number 8, it's the feature race. It's the Group 1 Stella Artois Caulfield Cup. It's going for a purse of $5 million. We have a field of 20 horses tackling the distance of ground of 2,400 meters or 1 mile and 1/2 on the turf course. Good race here. My top selection, I like the 2-horse Cliffs of Moher, the Cliffs of Moher. I'm gonna go 2:18.6 in the tricast or the trifecta. That's my top 4 basically. 2:18.6. Top selection, the 2-horse Cliffs of Moher. Aidan O'Brien trains this one for the Coolmore Group. Hugh Bowman gets the leg up. He's 7-1 here in the United States, and I think that's decent odds on him. He has a good post draw from the 3 barrier, and he's making a second off the layoff. His most recent outing came the last week, 13th of October here at Caulfield. That came in the Caulfield Stakes, 2,000 meters, 1.25 miles on the turf course. That day he finished 4th by 2.5 lengths. He had a little bit of a turn of foot from the back of the pack, but he desperately needed the race since it was his first race since July. I think he's second off the break, getting the extra 400 meters or 2 furlongs today. I think he'll run a lot better. Before that, he ran the 7th of July in England at Sandown, 1 mile and 1/4, 2,000 meters in the Group 1 Coral Eclipse. That day he finished 3rd by 2.5 lengths, almost 3 lengths there. You know, the winner of Wrong Lines running today in the QE2 at Ascot. Second place finisher Saxon Warrior won the 2,000 guineas at Newmarket during the spring. This horse just couldn't keep up with them, never got the good closing kick, and I think he's a 2,400 meter horse or a 1.5 horse, 1.25 or 2,000, which is just a little bit too short for him there. And then before that, Royal Ascot, the 23rd of June. In the Hardwick Stakes, the Group 2 Hardwick, that day he finished 3rd by 3.75 lengths behind Crystal Ocean and Red Verdon. Red Verdon, by the way, is running back in this one. Crystal Ocean, I believe, is running in the Champions at Ascot today. This horse, he just never got that good closing kick, never quickened up. Ascot's a very tough course, so I don't think he was handling it. And then before that, he ran a few days earlier at Ascot in the Prince of Wales, Group 1 Prince of Wales, where he finished 4th by 11 lengths. And that day, post-word, ran a hell of a race. Cracksman never concentrated on the race. Ground was very dry, so he just didn't handle it. Cracksman, by the way, is also running back today at Ascot in the Champion Stakes. On wet ground, I think he's a major contender there, but this horse just couldn't come with them there. His last very good effort before the Caulfield race last week came at the Kerr in the Gold Cup back in mid-May, where he finished 2nd by 2 lengths, really closing up well behind Lancaster Bomber. Wasn't a bad run. I think here's second off the break. Like I said, getting 2,400 meters or 1.5 miles. I think he's a logical horse. 7-1, watch out for him. Another horse I think is a good logical horse is the 18-horse Youngster. He gets a little bit of a low weight of 114 pounds, which I think is good for this mare. 11-2 here, so 5.5-1. Chris Waller trains. Karen McAvoy gets the leg up. You know, this horse ran at Flemington a few weeks ago in 2,000 meters and 1.25 miles Group 2 for 500K. Wait a second, let me just wait a second because my form is not loading. By the way, I don't look at the Australian races very often because I have to, for some reason, I can't find a really good form guide or race card because the one they offer us here in America for the Australian racing is absolutely crap. So when I look at these races from down under, I have to do like extra work, and I have to, you know, it doesn't bother me doing it occasionally like I do, but if I would have to do it every day, I would just just go insane. But when I look, so that's why I only look at these Australian races every so often. But back to the 18-horse Youngster as my form guide loads. He ran the Turnbull a few weeks ago at Flemington, 2,000 meters, 1.25 miles. That day he finished 2nd by a length behind Winks. Winks had a great final furlong or 200 meters. He had a great turn of foot. This horse just got there. Winks got there in the end, but this horse, had a good turn of foot also. It wasn't a bad race, but I think this horse, getting up in distance to 2,400 meters or 1.5 miles today, I think that's going to really be to the key to this horse's victory. He's a horse I would definitely use in the quaddies or pick 4, whatever you decide to play. But before that, he ran at Rosehill on the in the Shannon Stakes, Group 2 Shannon Stakes a few weeks earlier, going 1,500, 7.5 furlongs. That day he finished third. He had a decent turn of foot from the back of the pack, but I think the distance was too short. He's not a miler. I think he's a longer distance horse. And then before that, Randwick, 7 furlongs, 1,400 meters in the Tramway Stakes, the Group 2 Tramway. That day he finished sixth by 1 1/4 lengths. First start of the season. He never got into the run. Getting the longer distance today, he's proven he can win at 22 at Dubin over the in mid-May, where he won the Queensland Oaks very nicely. But like I said, I think the 2,400 meters is up this horse's alley. Horse I'm definitely going to use on the quaddy or pick 4. Watch out for her also to beat the boys. And another horse, I have him third in the tricast or trifecta here, but I think the 6 horse is another horse that could possibly get a piece of it. The 6 horse Ace High, Damien Oliver's on this one. He's 10-1 here in the States. This 4-year-old horse by High Chaparral, who is best remembered in my case for the Breeders' Cup success quite a few years ago. But this Ace High, he's coming out of a race at Randwick a few weeks ago. Mile and a quarter, as again my form an iPad doesn't want to load. I really hate technology sometimes, but just pause for 1 second as we get it to load. He ran at Randwick a few weeks ago in the Hill Stakes, the Group 2 Hill Stakes, and that day he won by 2 lengths. Another race, he sat a little bit closer to the tracking leaders that day. He got room at the end, and he closed up well. A very good victory, getting his 2,000 first of the season. Before that, the 15th of September at Randwick in the George Main Stakes, the Group 1 race, he finished 4th by 5 3/4 lengths behind Winks. Winks had a great turn of foot there. This horse just wasn't getting to them. Randwick seems like a kind of course you either like it or hate it. I don't think he really likes Randwick that much. And then the 1st September at Randwick, 1 mile in the Chelmsford Stakes, that day he finished second by 1 3/4 lengths. A little bit of turn of foot, but again, it wasn't the day to win. He's proven he wants to go 2,400 meters because he ran 2,400 meters last season in the his final start in the Australian Derby, where he finished second by just under a length there, really closing up well. He just missed, but he ran a good effort there. Before that in the Rosehill Guineas, he finished sixth after a disastrous trip, and then before then the Randwick Guineas he finished fourth. I think today with him, 2,400 meter trip, he should like also. He also has a good post draw. He's a horse. I like him third best in this race, but he's a horse I'm going to use in my quaddy or pick 4, so watch out for him also. But to recap my selection for the 8th from Caulfield, it's the Group 1 $5 million Caulfield Cup. As a top selection, I'll use the 2 horse Cliffs of Moher. I'm going to go 2:18.6 in the tricast or the trifecta. I'll also go 2:18.6 in my quaddy or pick 4 or a multi-race selection. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.